Thank you very much for this invitation. I will give the presentation is divided in two parts: a brief overview of FoodDataQuest, and then I will pass to how AI and DNA data can improve traceability, in particularly focused in the olive oil industry. A few words about FoodDataQuest. Is a +3 years EU research innovation project coordinated by ILVO and aims to advance data-driven solutions targeting sustainability, nutrition, and fairness in food systems. Okay, consists of 15 partners, which I will not go through naming everyone. And the core objectives is to target to map the data sharing, so unlock unconventional and non-competitive data by understanding private and public sharing practices, create an interoperable architecture that will design a GDPR compliant reference framework, work on real-world pilots, so validate AI solutions in 4 different cases, one targeting fraud, one waste, the other monitoring and managing supply chains, and the last guiding eco choices. To build a smart community, so can ensure a long-term sustainability of innovation by including stakeholders, and influence policy, deliver evidence-based recommendations to guide digital transformation of the EU food systems. The use cases. So where do we apply this? Where we will work? We work on the DNA-based traceability. So the combination of genetic data with production data, but also cultivation, to detect olive oil fraud, and boost transparency. In hospitals to minimize food waste using an AI dashboard that can track inventory and the preference, nutritional preference of the patients. So cut waste and improve clinical nutrition. The farm to fork data sharing, connect livestock farmers and all the other involved actors like retailers to track carbon footprints across the meat supply chain. And last, the high-density consumer insights, so personalized eco-friendly dietary tips using AI by blending real-world purchase history and sustainability data. If we wanted to summarize or give an overview, that it is to test AI tools and demonstrate the functionality, observe how the data flow in real case scenario with optimizing business model, governance, and technical aspects. Provide feedback and lessons into policy briefs and create a practical guide for future solutions, and serve as a proven model for the transition toward a fair, healthy, and environmentally friendly food system. I will now go through the olive oil, the DNA data-driven DNA data-driven traceability of the olive oil, and I will mainly focus on understanding why it is important to do this solution, and rather than go into technical details. We are facing climatic change, reduction of productions, and olive oil is slowly transforming into a cultural heritage that is at risk, particularly for Mediterranean countries. The shortages of olive oil increase price, so this increase fraud. And fraud is not only let's say that the fraud is not necessarily associated to financial losses, but also increased health risks, jeopardizes sustainability in society, promotes unfair competition by importing olive oils that are produced probably at lower cost without taking into account sustainability practices, and also brings an impact in the value of the product, of the extra virgin olive oil that we buy. Indeed, a study in 2019 showed that the exposure of the consumer only to the fraud let's say, exposure to the fraud, reduced the value of extra virgin olive oil from 10 to 50%. And this variation was due to the different countries involved. The Greek was losing 10% of the value, and I can say that the Spanish was losing the 50%. So this reduction of the value of the product reflects also in the local producers that they are let's say, the cornerstone of producing the extra virgin olive oil of high quality. So in FoodDataQuest, there is a platform where the information about the production of a label will be incorporated. It will be analyzed with DNA technologies and will be combined with AI data to ensure the genetic identity and the origin of the olive oil. And just to give an overview of the structure and the workflow of information, as you can see, we have on the bottom the different stages from field to store of the supply chain, and all this information is let's say, uploaded in the platform, and different samples from the key points of the supply chain are sent and analyzed with DNA technologies. And the DNA data are fed into a machine learning pipeline, and including also cultivation and other features from the cultivation and production practices, to give an automated classification of the identity of the olive oil. So more, let's say, simple information about if the label corresponds to the content and the origin. And once this is verified, then we have a product that it is DNA traceable from field to store. But it is important also to understand what is the impact of a DNA traceable and transparent olive oil. First of all, the benefit on the product, so on the label that one purchases from the store, valorizes the label because protects the product from fraud using DNA technologies, differentiates the product because it is more transparent, so there is evidence that the content corresponds to the label. So the trust of the consumer increases towards this product. And the added value that returns to the company, of course, is that will enhance the sustainability protocol of the olive oil producing company, covering the three fundamental aspects: profit, society, and planet. Profit, of course, because an olive oil that is transparent and more differentiates will increase sales for the olive oil company. Moreover, this will return as value to the local producers that producing these olive oils, the high quality. And last but not least, by valorizing the local communities, they maintain the production of olive oil from autochthonous also varieties, so they also have an impact in safeguarding biodiversity. So if we wanted to understand also the impact of the DNA-based traceability, that to give the, let's say, 6 key points, it is that there is a control and there's safety and control of the natural resources, guarantees the authenticity of the raw materials, of course meets the consumer expectation for transparency, can identify the varieties with high accuracy, so discover new cultivars also, contribute, of course, to health because eliminates fraud, so the health benefits of an olive oil are not, let's say, jeopardized. And last but not least, connects with the convention of biological diversity, safeguarding also these autochthonous varieties. So DNA data-driven, AI DNA data-driven traceability can safeguard the cultural heritage. And this is a small part of the pilot, of one pilot in one case in FoodDataQuest. Thank you very much.